Hello guys, my name is David Fields and you're watching Field Skills. Today we're going to talk about chickens and using chickens as a sustainable source of protein in your long-term survival preparations. Okay guys, it's Thanksgiving Day 2016 and I'm here with my brother-in-law David Baker at his house. We're celebrating Thanksgiving today. Just had a wonderful meal. And Baker is, how long you been raising chickens, David?
I've probably been in chickens for about 10 years.
10 years and all, and he is my expert, my go-to guy for chicken raising. So I'm just going to ask some questions, Baker, and answer them, share with us just about raising chickens and the sources, it being a good source of meat can be, but especially eggs, proteins, getting out of chickens, and how easy it is to raise them or not so easy. Just tell us about raising chickens.
Well, raising chickens is something that I got into because I grew up with chickens and always enjoyed being in the hen house, gathering eggs during the day. So it really takes you back to your earlier experiences, the things that you enjoy. But chickens are so easy to raise. You just need a pen. You just need some food, a place for them to lay, a few laying boxes, and really the only thing you have to do on a regular basis is just make sure that they have feed and collect the eggs.
Feed and water, I would guess.
Feed and water, and then you know, try to give attention to keeping everything as clean as possible. But occasionally chickens will, there's a variety of sicknesses that they can get, and a little antibiotic generally will take care of that in their water. But it's great when you can come out and every day you've got good fresh eggs that you can enjoy.
Okay. All right, David, I see different colorations on your birds in here. What kind of breeds are these, and what are their specialties, if you will?
All right. Well, this breed is called a light Sussex. It's a bird from England. And the way that I ended up with these, I ordered some eggs online, and I have a small incubator. And that's also one of the fun things about raising chickens. You can buy an incubator for not very much money. You can actually order eggs, and you can incubate those and raise a variety of different breeds. But this light Sussex, as you can see, this is a good breed. They're very gentle. They'll let you hold them. And when you raise chickens from the eggs, they seem to be a whole lot more calm because they're used to you. You know, when they come into the world, you're the first thing that they see. And so I like this breed, and what I'll do every year is I will take some of the eggs, and every year I'll just raise a few more. And then, you know, as they grow older, I might give those away. And then I try to keep fresh birds, you know, with me every single year. But this breed is really a winner. Lays a good egg, and they're very calm and really make good pets as well.
Okay, David, this is a rooster.
Right, this is my light Sussex rooster.
Do you have to have a rooster with your hens for them to lay eggs?
No.
Or will they lay eggs without a rooster in the pen?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people think that you don't have eggs without a rooster, but you do have eggs, they're just not fertilized. So a rooster is not necessary. I know that in a lot of metropolitan areas, city codes allow people to have chickens, but they can't have a rooster because the rooster's so loud. So don't have to have a rooster for eggs, but if you want to incubate and perpetuate your breed, you're going to need a rooster. And you know, there's very few roosters that will allow you to hold them like this guy, but I've raised him, incubated him, and I've always fooled with him like this, and he's just a good-natured rooster, and that's one of the reasons I like this breed so much.
All right, David, we had the Sussex hen and the rooster. This looks a rooster.
Yeah, this is the blue-laced red wine dot. This is a very young rooster. He's just starting to crow, actually.
Okay, and he doesn't, when you were pulling him out, we didn't get that on film, he wasn't as gentle with you grabbing him up.
Yeah, that's right. Breeds are different. They have different personalities and tendencies. Now I can hold him because, you know, he was raised from an egg as well, but they're not just quite as happy to be held as, say, the light Sussex is.
And now, I've always heard, too, with all the different breeds, certain breeds are better for meat chickens.
Right.
Certain have a larger egg or better layers through
Right.
that. But all of yours are for primarily laying eggs.
That's right. Yeah, I don't typically kill them. If you were going to do that, there's a lot of breeds that would probably be better. I mean, these would be fine, but this variety here is just mostly known for its beauty. This variety probably doesn't lay the finest egg. It lays a good egg, but it's really known mostly for the beauty of its feathers.
Yes.
And it is.
Okay, David. Tell me about your chicken coop here. How you designed it, and it looks like you've got 2 different pens here. Why have you got that, and what was your thinking process, or did this just kind of grow over time?
Yeah, it really did grow. I started out with a chicken house that someone gave me, and then as time progressed it really wasn't large enough. So last summer, got out here, my wife helped me, and we added on to it, and we really created 2 compartments. With the chickens being different breeds, you want to have a rooster for each breed if you want to perpetuate that breed. So the roosters, as they get older, they tend to fight, and one wants to show dominance over the other. So I had to separate the 2 roosters, and so they're in 2 different compartments. But I've also worked out this wonderful area. It's called chicken chunnels, and you can actually look that up online, where you give your chickens more space to roam, but they're still in a contained area, and so they're able to run through these tunnels, and they're very simple to make. And so what I did is I have a lift gate on both sides of the chicken pen, on both compartments, and I'll open one gate and let one group out for a while, then I'll open the gate and let the other group out for a while, and I can control where they're able to go.
How much work that goes into raising these chickens? I mean, have you got to be here every day and doing certain things, or do they, and how much feed does it take to feed these?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's different ways that you can feed. I typically come out in the morning and feed them, but there are also feeding systems where you can feed them, and feed will stay in there for a long period of time. There are also watering systems that you can buy as well. But, you know, I'll probably spend $30, I guess $30 a month is about what I spend on feed, and I'll get some cracked grains and some chicken feed at, like at a farmer's co-op is where I'll generally go.
And it looks like, so that's $30. It looks like you've got about a dozen chickens here.
Right.
And also for that, but they'll eat other things too, won't they?
They'll eat anything that you give them, basically. So scraps from the table. Every once in a while I'll let them out, and I'll let them forage around. If I'm out working in the garden in the afternoon, I'll let them out and let them forage and eat grass and scratch around, and they really enjoy doing that too.
David, tell me about your hen house, I guess is what you'd call this, and some of the intricacies you've designed into your house here.
Yeah, I did a good bit of reading on that and looking at how people design hen houses. And so one of the things that I really liked was being able, in extreme cold conditions, to be able to come in and have a door that will close. So let's say that it got very, very cold, I could come in and, you know, you can drop that door down and protect them. Another thing that's also extremely useful are these trays that I have created here that you can fill with hay, and then you can pull the tray out when it gets full, and you can empty that and put the tray back in and put fresh hay. And that's also been very handy in maintaining your chickens, trying to keep the pen clean.
Just basically a drawer.
Just a drawer, a giant drawer that I made.
All right, David, I heard you mention chicken vocalization.
Right.
If I'm saying that.
It's a big word, isn't it?
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me what a chicken vocalizes.
All right, well, it's very, very interesting. There's been a lot of research done in the area of human dynamics and leadership, but chickens have a variety of sounds that they make. For instance, you'll hear a rooster. He has one sound if there is a ground threat, and he has another sound if he looks up in the sky and sees a hawk, and he'll make a different sound. So chickens are very similar to humans in that they have their own unique vocalizations for certain context and activities, warning signs, patterns of communication. When a hen lays an egg, she has a certain type of sound that she makes. It's a very interesting study, and if you sit and listen to chickens for a while, you'll just begin to pick up on those nuances of sounds and how they're communicating with one another.
Their own language.
They really do, and their language is, according to the research that's done, very similar to the way human beings communicate with one another. For instance, there's been a lot written about pecking order theory, how in certain corporations and companies you have a pecking order. Well, same thing happens in the hen house. If you take a group of 10 hens, for instance, and you put them all together in a pen, within a matter of minutes, they will determine who is the top hen all the way down to the 10th. And they establish that pecking order within their flock as part of the way that they operate with one another.
So the phrase pecking order comes from the hen house.
It comes from the hen house.
I got
it certainly does. The most dominant hen is at the top.
All right, David, tell me, hen lays an egg.
Right.
How do you get that? Is that every day? Will a hen normally lay every day?
A hen will lay typically either every day or every other day. And so what you want to do is have these laying boxes for them, and I've created a system here. Notice, to keep the water from running in it, you want to keep this area dry. Just open the box, and there are 4 boxes there where the hens can come in and lay their eggs. And it makes it easy for you to grab those every morning and get those out. And you should always have the eggs that you need.
Okay. And now hens, at certain times of the year, I understand, they'll stop laying, or certain conditions will come about that'll cause a hen not to lay. Have you found that, and what do you do to get them to laying again?
Well, they will go through stages. It's almost like sometimes they have to rest for a while. But when the days get shorter, the length of sunshine during the day impacts how well they lay. So what a lot of people will do is put a light in the hen house that might keep it lit for another hour or so and keep a timer on it. I've also noticed that when they go through molting, which you may have noticed some feathers on the ground, as they prepare for winter, they'll shed all of their feathers and they'll put a new coat on. And so when they're going through that, it takes a lot of energy, and they will not lay as well during those times. So right now the egg laying is pretty sparse, but it will get better as time progresses.
Okay, guys, as we wrap this thing up, I just got a few other questions for you. I want to ask you, Baker. And by the way, I call him Baker because we're both Davids in the family, and everybody calls, that's Baker, I'm David in the family, and that's Baker. This whole series of videos I'm doing is talking about sustained living and survival in the long term. If our whole system of power went down and we went back to the days, how can we raise our own food? Chickens are a great source, as we opened up with, of proteins, both eggs and meat if you wanted to. But let's say our viewers out there want to get started in a chicken business, start raising chickens. What does a chicken cost if you went out and, I know you could probably scavenge most of the materials to build you a cage, but what do you think it costs to get into raising chickens, and how many should a person start out with?
You can usually go, say, like to a flea market if you want to go buy one. A chicken's probably going to cost about $15 a piece. They really don't cost that much. And so it's not hard to attain chickens. If you wanted to have 3 hens, for instance, if you weren't interested in raising and you just wanted eggs, you could probably build you a small hen house of some sort for $200 or $300 maybe. I think I have about $600 to $700 in this chicken house, but as you can see, I have a number of chickens here. But you can expand your space very cheaply by using these chicken tunnels that we talked about, and you can give them room to roam, and that's very, very economical if you wanted to just build a house and then have a place for them to run.
Well, it's really interesting. Like I said, and I've told you many times, when it all happens and we go back to a long-term survival situation, Baker's at the top of my survival group listing because of not only knowing his chicken raising ability, but he is a master gardener. And you'd probably be embarrassed if I showed him your garden because it's dead. It's
just dying.
Thanksgiving Day. But he has a beautiful garden, and so he's going to be my food man in that situation. But I appreciate you sharing with us chickens and your knowledge, 10 years you've been doing it, and it helps me, and it's something that everyone should consider, because it doesn't take but a little space to raise some chickens.
Doesn't take that much at all. And some people have like a rolling chicken pen that's on wheels, so you could, you know, move them around the yard, and they can forage in different places. So they could eat grass and weeds and so forth, and you just pick it and roll it and drop it, pick it and up and drop it. And that's also a system that people use as well. Okay, guys, we're gonna wrap this up. Our rooster is ready for us to wrap this up. I want to thank my brother-in-law, David Baker, for sharing his chicken expertise with us today. Again, my name is David Fields, and you've been watching Field Skills. And as I end all of my videos in this urban survival series of videos, I use the quote from Benjamin Franklin, where Franklin said, "By failing to prepare, you're preparing to fail." So I hope you'll join us next time as we prepare to succeed in a sustained living situation here on Field Skills.